Hey, I know I'm a little bit late, but forgive me. I'm here though. So this is a lot to get into because it was the finale. Um, so I'm gonna get on into it. Season 3, episode 44. I'm gonna start with Nicole and Deontay and Tia. Yeah, and Tia, her new girl or her old girl, who was now her new girl. Moving on, yeah, I get it. So she left with Tia, and they went to meet Deontay, to basically give him an ultimatum, like who you want to be with, me, her, she, him, whoever. So Tia parks the car, and they're in the I guess it looks like some kind of park or whatever. Then now the sun was up when she dropped her off, and then next thing you know, it's like dark. It's an hour later. So Tia is still sitting there. She's still fucked up and hungover from the night before. Her and Nicole, was dry humping and everything. So she drank too much and she's sick. So she's in the park waiting. He finally arrives and he's like, "I'm gonna talk first." Basically, shut up, bitch, and listen. That's what that gave me. I'm sorry. So he's like, "You lied to me and my mom, and the pictures I have on social media, like you and your girl, your ex. Like, why would you do this when you embarrassing me? Take the pictures down." She's like, "No, I'm not taking them down." And he's like, "Why? You told me to do the same thing." Anyway, so she starts getting irritated and annoyed, and she gets defensive, and it's like, "Tia and I are just friends. We ain't nothing else." And I'm like, "Girl, you are in the bed in the video talking about the love of your life or something like that." So then he's asked her a dumbass question: "Did you have sex with any one of your exes, Zach or Tia?" She left you for Zach in the car. Now she came back with Tia, and you think she ain't have sex with near one of them? Okay. So she gets even more irritated and tries to flip it on him, which is what liars do. They talk, and then when they getting caught up in their own shit, they're like, "No, I'm not talking to you. Fuck that." Wah. So he's like, "No, you gonna listen to me." Then I guess Tia sees her from the car getting up. Tia rolls out like the good stud that she is, and she's introducing herself and kicks some old jailhouse, like you want to finesse me or something like that. And she's like, "No, me and her are just friends. Nothing happened with us last night. I don't want to be with Nicole." And he's looking at her like, "Girl, please." So then she tries to compliment him, which is the backhanded way of trying to pacify you getting in my ass. And she goes, "Oh, she told me about you in prison, and you look way better. You look way better in person than you do in your picture." And Deontay looks at her like, "Was that a diss?" And he's like, "Well, you're a handsome young man yourself." I died. He said, "You're a handsome young man yourself." Tia didn't say nothing because, in the stud world, that's a compliment. So I was like, mm. Um, so then they both say to Tia, "Look, you have to make a decision." And I'm like, "Bitch, you just told him that they're just friends. Now you saying in front of him to make a decision? I'm confused. Make it make sense." So then her and Tia go off to the side and talk, and Tia says to her again, "Look, I gave him what you want me to give him, but you got to make a choice, because if you was my lady, this wouldn't be going down like that." Okay. So she comes back to Deontay, and she's just like, "Yeah, I want to be in an open relationship. I want to be with all of you." You whore. You're a whore. Like, how you? Okay. So after that, it's like Deontay allegedly is done. He takes his little toy doll and burns it into the water, and I'm like, okay. Now I'm gonna give y'all a finale of each person because it was a season finale. The finale, it says Dante hasn't given up on Tia. But on his Instagram page, when he goes live, he's like, "No, we're not together no more. I do miss her, but we ain't together." And he's been popping up a lot with Rachel. Then it says Nicole and Tia are still dating, but on her Instagram page, they doing screenshots of her begging Deontay to get back with her. I'm like, I mean, I guess you poor now, so that's why you doing what you doing, try to get him back. Stan and Lisa, next couple. He's going to get her the car, so he opens up his book, and I'm like, "What book is? Why you not online looking at your information?" He has a book of all his assets and his retirement information. So Lisa's standing there like this, looking all in to see what's going on. And he's telling her all the money he got, how much he gets a year. And he's going to get her a $13,000 car. And he has a check. I'm like, ooh, you old school. You got a check? You got a check? So he goes and gets his checkbook and his other book. And she's like, is that all the checks you have? He said, oh, I have to get some more. And she's basically saying, where the rest at? He goes, oh, the rest of them upstairs. I'm like, oh, you old granddaddy. So his friend, the guy friend that he hangs out with, is going with him to buy a car. And he's like, why are you doing all of this for her? Like, you've given her basically $13,000 for a car, all these tickets, hair, and clothes you got her done, and she ain't been out a month. Like, what is wrong with you? And he's like, well, I want to get her out of the hole she's in. She can have a fresh start. She ain't never had a job. So how's she starting fresh? But I mean, all right, move on. So then he leaves and she goes, I'm going to go take a shower and just relax a little bit. She goes upstairs looking at his hobby collections, his baseball cards, his baseball he has. And she's looking up how much each thing costs. Oh, that's $13,000. Oh, this can't be right. Oh, this much. So when she cleans his ass out, she know how much money she can get. So then they show her brother and her godmother are coming, and who are both convicts. So I'm like, here we go. And he's like, help me cook. So I see salad come out. I see some bowls out, and I said, oh my God, what they making? Why when her godmother and brother come, they got pizza rolls, they got the bite-sized chicken nuggets. I'm like, what are y'all doing? What are y'all doing? Is this and garlic bread? Excuse me, don't forget the garlic bread. Is that cooking? But okay, whatever. But Stan is rich, right? Okay, all right. So Rick thinks Stan's a piece of garbage, and he wants to talk to Stan about how he's treated her so bad, and he doesn't like that. And talking about how she was crying to me, and basically when you hurt her, you hurt me. And I'm like, what? But I mean, all right. And I don't want her to hurt anymore because she's been beat by her ex-husband. I'm like, what do you mean, her husband? Because she still is married. Then the godmother is like, how are things going? And she's telling her how much he paid so far. And her godmother's like, oh, you did a good job. What? He's what? Okay, I mean, one minute you saying you mad with Stan for treating her the way he treated her. Then the next minute you saying she did a good job and keep scamming, right? So make it make sense. But I guess this is the life of drug dealers, addicts, and junkies. I don't know. I'm very confused. But the finale for them says Stan wants to propose to her. They're still together. And Lisa is still in a relationship with whoever she is texting all damn day long, which is some girl. Courtney and Josh, that's pickle people. She says she feels abandoned and alone, and she wants Josh to do more and step up and stop just playing video games. And, he's just like, I just don't have the desire right now. Like, I've been locked up for a long time, and this is just freedom for me. Give me a minute to fucking breathe. And this is what a lot of them do. They think the person that they're talking to on the phone is the same person they're going to be when they're at the house. When they get out. No, they've been locked up and confined with just random little spurts of people. And this is as far as they go. But when they get out in their home, their whole world has opened up. You have to give them time to breathe, relax, and let it go. If you can't do that living in your house, then you need to get them a room to rent where they can come and go as they please. But you can't because they're on parole, right? So get off their fucking neck. But anyway, so he plans a surprise for her when she left for work. And she has like little heart posts on the door and like instructions, like a little love maze to get to him in the backyard. He has like a nice charcuterie board. He has some wine and cheese and crackers, which is nice. But what I was laughing at, and maybe I'm wrong, because she lives in like a not so great house in the woods, in the country, kind of like, and she is locking her car up, and she clicked that button like 5 or 6 times, y'all. Like, let me boop, 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 make sure anyone can get this car. But I mean, it's your prized possession, whatever. And then he put his ring that he bought himself in a pickle jar that he had outside, and said he apologized for flushing the other one because it's just him being frustrated and he doesn't want to do that again. And then he has to leave soon because he's only allowed to be there for 14 days for quarantine, and then he has to go back to his cousin's house to live, and they don't know why he's not paroled to her house. And I'm like, cause you a felon. Felons can't be with felons. Remember, no matter who, yes, your wife, husband, mother, father, they're not supposed to be together. Anyway, after the little lunch thing, he proposed to her. She accepts, and then the finale is Courtney is still living alone, and Josh is what? Back in jail because he violated his parole within 6 months of him being out. Brittany and Ray. So her dad and her sister are coming over, and she didn't tell them that he was there or he paroled there. And she's put on, oh, put this on, oh, put that. Because my dad does not play when it comes to me. So you got to put this on, put that on. That being put on some jeans that was cut up in a collar shirt. I mean, ain't that what guys wear anyway? But whatever. So they come in to meet him and asking him questions, her dad and her sister. And they're like, what are your plans with her? Are you going to get a job? What made you do what you did in the past? And, you know, they sound like they're going to give him a chance until he gives them a chance to not give him a chance. So she's pressuring him as they're out to lunch about having a baby and getting married. She wants to get married first, then have a baby because her clock is ticking. Again, they just got out. You can't put all this pressure on them and tell them what to do. They've been told what to do for beyond a year. You have to give them a break. And then she tells him, well, I guess I'll be getting engaged next month, right? He's looking at her like she crazy because next month kind of ain't it. He ain't got a job yet. Like, why you want to put this man in a whole... Okay. So she's like, and I don't want no hush ring. I don't want you to propose to me today and then we don't get married for like how long? And he's like, I don't know, like 2 or 3 years. I don't want to do that. I don't want to wait that long. I'm like, here we go. Putting the pressure on. The finale. She's still waiting on him to propose. But he did find a job. Thank God. Thank you, Jesus. Okay? Because I don't know how long Brittany could have lasted. Anissa and Jeff. Now, this was the insane couple. Jeff says she's been acting different. He don't know why. Well, we know it's because Kyle, her friend, told her that he had an 18-year-old baby in Indianapolis. And, you know, I don't know how long it was before Kyle and Jeff had the conversation about him having his baby, and he didn't want to tell her just yet. He wanted to tell her in his own time. So, of course, Jeff is getting suspicious, and he doesn't know yet. So he's looking around the house. He finds her old cell phone with the sexy pictures in the bed that she's in the trailer now. And he's just like, why is she doing this? Why wouldn't she tell me? So when she comes home, I'm going to ask her. She done changed her laptop password. So, she comes in the house and she's like on her phone, just chilling. And he's like, what's wrong with you? She's like, nothing, Kyle. I mean, nothing, Jeff. Why? Why are you asking that, baby? And he's like, you wouldn't fib to me. Do they say fib as an adult? Do we say fib or do we say lie? But I mean, okay. He thinks that Kyle and Anissa had sex, and that's why she's acting like that. I didn't know Kyle was a felon as well, but Kyle really likes her. But Kyle has a girlfriend, but I think Kyle's just being a nice guy to her. So then she says, nothing's wrong with me, Jeff, but why wouldn't you tell me about you having a baby? Then he goes apeshit bananas. I was going to tell you, Nissa. I was going to tell you, oh, that motherfucker, Kyle, I'm going to beat his ass. I can't do a country accent, but that's how he sounded to me. So Kyle pulls up because he was supposed to come over with his girlfriend for dinner, and he tries to go and fight him, and security's there, try to break them up. And this is like, I'm going to just stay inside because they ain't got nothing to do with me. Y'all go ahead and kill each other. And if the neighbors call the cops, then Jeff going to go to jail, and so is Kyle because Kyle's a con too. I'm like, ooh. So he gets mad. I said, why are you mad at her for her friend, her best friend, telling her the truth that you couldn't tell her? There's no time span of how long he told Jeff and he's going to tell her, but whatever. So he goes outside, yeah, I'm going to kill you something, bitch. I'm going to kill you something, bitch. Bubba. And they just going back and forth. And then Kyle gets out the truck like he going to do something. Like he going to bust a grape. And it was just like, oh, here we go. So Kyle makes it past the producers, and so does Jeff. And his girlfriend is still in the truck with her cigarette. Like this ain't got nothing to do with me. And Jeff runs up on Kyle, and he duffs him down real quick. And then Kyle tells the producer, I'm going to give a bullet right in his forehead. I'm going to kill him. Now he goes back in and tells her the only reason why he lied is because he wasn't sure. Blah, blah, blah. Now she goes, I can't trust you. I don't know how we're going to move on from this. Then we see the finale. Jeff is back at the halfway house for that fight incident. And Anissa is waiting for him again so they can get married. And last but not least, Doug and Rachel and Dougie and Doug's other women that he is with. She finds out that Doug has been cheating on her, and because he said he was going to his friend's house with his friend's girlfriend. His friend's girlfriend had a friend for him, and that's who he's been dating. He comes home, confronts Doug. Doug punches the cabinet out, and he goes, "That's how much I love you. I didn't punch you in the face. I punched the cabinet." Yeah. So she had to leave the house that night because he's tethered to that house, and if he wasn't home by that certain time, he would have got in trouble. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a damn if you got in trouble and like you ain't gonna be in my house, and I'm not leaving my house that I pay a mortgage in and been paying a mortgage in, so you can be comfortable in my bed. Whatever. So Doug and Dougie left. I don't know where he went. But she was like, I never thought I would be part of a statistic. I never thought that I would be the kind of girl that would be in a relationship and then it end like this. Why you didn't think that? Why you didn't think that? Because this is your third time with a third felon you've been married to 3 times. Are you crazy? Are you crazy? But third time's a charm for her, so she wants to get a divorce, but she's open to getting Dougie Jr. So you're going to keep this man's son. He going to be with the other woman and then come to see his son and get his son while you take care of him and raise him? The finale, she never did a convict again in life. She's learned her lesson, finally. Thank God he didn't have access to her bank accounts to clean her out. He said he was committed, but not to her like that. And his feelings for the other woman didn't trump what he felt for her. And he wanted to give both of them a chance to see who could do better. He's back in jail for violating his parole. Not shocking. And Dougie is back living with her. But Rachel was in her Instagram with Deontay, so I don't know how that's going to work out. Thank you for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, and talk to me below. What do y'all think about this?